Teen Redditors. 1319. What is something important that you feel your parents should learn? Do not insist on comparing me to my friends. They do not act the same way in front of you as they might in their own home, and you have no clue how they act when they're at home with their own parents. Be more like Jared. Mom, if you saw how Jared talks to his mom when I'm there, you'd praise me and call me a fricking son. Just because one of my friends is a girl doesn't mean you constantly have to bring her up. Sometimes I believe that my parents are still in elementary school. Privacy. My grandmother will come in my room while I'm sleeping just to look through my window above my head to see what the neighbors are doing. She looks above my head to peep at what I am doing on my phone. She gets mad at me when I don't tell her an answer to a personal question she asked me. She is also untrustworthy and will lie to make a story more interesting so I can't tell her anything and fear she will spread a rumor that isn't true about me. I once told her how my gym teacher passed away from cancer and she proceeded to call her friend and tell her my gym teacher dropped dead in front of us at gym and cancer spilled out of her. I hope someone at least came by to clean up that cancer. Get my attention before talking to me. They did get mad at me when I miss the first half of what they are saying, but it's because I'm already doing something. I don't mind pausing my game, putting down my book phone, muting the TV, etc. Just say my name, or even hey you before you start talking so I realize I'm supposed to engage. My parents learned this, but my grandmother got so frustrated with it. I can tune out a lot of stuff, but I do pick up on my name. I try to do the same with my son. I start everything with yo hey Zach. I understand that compared to you, I shouldn't have any stress, but teen stress does exist. Maybe in the future I'll learn how naive I was and how small my stresses now are, but right now, what I'm stressed about matters to me. Don't stop me from hanging out with friends, and then later complain why am I always in my room and not outside enjoying life. That's just unfair. You're such a smart kid. Why are you struggling now? Yes mom, I was a smart kid when I was learning middle school math. It gets gradually harder. I freaking failed algebra, and my mother says you used to be so smart in math back in grade 5. You were in a gifted class your cause no one in my class knew how to do basic freaking division and multiplication. That admitting that you were wrong isn't the end of the world. If anything, if my parents had admitted they were wrong about certain things a little more, it would have meant the world to me. Knock before entering. Knock and wait for them to say you can come in before coming in. Knocking then immediately opening the door does not count. My mom really needs to learn that if she wants me to talk to her openly about my life and not lie to her, she can't freak out when I am honest with her. The few times I have confided in her when I was in a situation that I needed help with, she completely overreacted and made it a terrible experience for both of us. It stresses her out when I tell her about my life, and her stress makes me stressed. It's better for both of us if I lie to her. I've got Reddit to help me figure crap out, anyways. Getting frustrated when I screw up something, even if it's something small. I feel bad enough as it is. You don't need to make me feel even worse. No matter how much I fricked up, please don't bring it up after I just told you something I'm proud of. I landed a solo at a local art show singing a song, and when I mentioned it to my mom she started ranting about how I wasn't going to do anything afterwards because I can never clean my freaking room. 1. I do clean my room. 2. Aren't you proud of me? Just because I am not hungry now does not mean I hate your cooking. But sometimes, yeah, their cooking might suck. They should ask before making plans that includes me. I'm 19, but I have plans, important things to do and agreements that I should respect. And me not wanting to do those things doesn't mean I don't love you, it means I don't want to do it. Don't snoop through my things. If I have a personal note or from a friend, or a piece of writing, don't look through it and read it, and don't send a picture of it to everyone else in the family. It's out of sight for a reason. Don't make fun of our relationships. Whenever they see me talking to a girl they always ask who's your new girlfriend. They always ask me after school how's your girlfriend doing even when they know I'm not in a relationship, or even right after a breakup. I know they're not doing it to be mean, but it's little stuff like this that makes me hesitant to share my actual relationships with them. Just remember that this is sort of an awkward time for us, and relationships are no exception. I always try to take it in jest because I know they're kidding, but other people might take it as an insult, or you pushing them to find a girlfriend boyfriend when they're not ready. Also, just because I've been stressed or mopey doesn't mean I'm gay. It just means I don't feel like talking. I've had to explain twice to my parents that I am not a closeted homosexual. Also, just because I've been stressed or mopey doesn't mean I'm gay. It just means I don't feel like talking. I've had to explain twice to my parents that I am not a closeted homosexual. My parents are freaking convinced I'm trans. Don't be too controlling. My parents are always wondering who I'm texting and what I'm doing 24/7. Give me some space, I'm a teenage boy. I'm supposed to have some privacy. Seriously, we have laptops in our rooms. Busting into rooms without knocking. You're playing with fire here, Dad. We're so dramatic because a lot of things are new. We can feel new levels of emotion. It might seem silly to cry over someone we've dated for less than a year, but this is literally the most heartbroken we've ever been. Our schoolwork is the hardest we have ever done. Our responsibilities are the most daunting. From our perspective, what seems trivial to you is new and terrifying and the most extreme it has ever been. I saw some comedian the other day make that point perfectly, something like if a 4-year-old is screaming because another kid took his toy, that's probably because it actually is one of the worst things that's ever happened to him in his life so far. Yes, I understand that my problems aren't anywhere as big as yours. They're a lot smaller and easily solvable, but my problems to me are the same size as your problems to you. Irrational punishments don't teach me anything. They would in fact just want me to rebel more. College student here. You don't have to use my full name, including middle, when you call me to dinner. Save that for something important. If you call me while I am gone for a semester in another state and I don't pick up, leave me some indication of how important your call is. Call me can either mean Uncle Fred died or I want to know how you're doing. Our problems are real. My mom is really good at understanding this. She gets angry along with me when I mention how my best friend got hit by her boyfriend. She gives me advice when I say that my friends have depression. She gets worried when I'm quiet and easily angered. Not only does she empathize, she helps. She once dialed 911 for a friend who had attempted while I told her how to apply first aid. She gave me permission to deck the abusive boyfriend. She lent me her old psychology textbook so that I could better help my friends with depression. She makes me feel comfortable enough to talk about whatever is bothering me. Most people on this thread give very good examples of what not to do. Let my mother be the model for what to do. I mean it every time I say that she is the best mom ever. Okay, now let's talk about my dad. He is every bit as awesome as my mom, just in different ways. He grew up as the oldest son in a ghetto in San Antonio. He was the first in my family to go to college. He's worked for the Air Force, been a pastor, been a missionary, and is now a higher up at an energy savings firm. Because of him, I've always lived a comfortable life. But it doesn't stop there. He teaches me everything he knows. I remember him explaining his Excel spreadsheets in 5th grade. In middle school, he started giving me a large monthly allowance and told me to pay for basically everything but rent in order to teach me money management. I'll be honest, I talk more to my mom about emotional problems. She got her degree in psychology, after all, but I can talk to dad about literally anything else. Personal finance, politics, theology, current events, books, movies, anything that pops into my head, I can talk to dad about. He taught me that even if you can't do masculine things like repair a car or assemble furniture, you can still be one of the greatest men out there. I've learned so much from him, and I learn more every day. I told him about this post and asked him if he had anything he wanted to share with the internet. He said, when your mother and I first had your older brother, we decided that we would have 2 goals in parenting. That you would know that we love you unconditionally, and that you would know that we are always for you. Everything else we do flows out of those 2 goals. Yeah, he actually talks like that. It's awesome. If there are any parents of teens reading this, strive to be like my parents. I wouldn't trade them for anything. You can't pause an online game. Fact of not having a girlfriend doesn't automatically make someone gay. I'm 22 though. When I was that age I wished my parents would let me make mistakes, rather than trying to bubble wrap the world. For reference, I spend time on my computer a lot, playing games with high volume and my headset on staring intently at my screen, walking into my room and just standing there without even saying anything expecting me to instantly notice I'm going to work. I'm happy to talk to you but can you please get my attention first instead of standing there and eventually getting pissy when I don't notice? Also as a side note, knocking then instantly entering removes the point of knocking. Can you please wait for me to say come in or gimme a minute instead? Communication through technology is still communication. I know it's not true for all people my parents' age, but a lot seem to be stuck on the idea that just because you're texting someone or messaging them online, it's somehow not real contact and not a real relationship with the other person. Remind your folks how much they used to talk on the phone as teenagers, hours and hours and hours. I promise you, explain to them that what you're doing via text is the same dang thing. Well yes, you do pay for my tuition, car, clothing, food, etc. You need to give me some sense of control. Rules are important, I understand, but I need to learn how to function on my own. If you couldn't tell from my brother developing alcoholism the second he got to college, if you control your kids too hard in high school and let them out into college, they don't know what to do with the freedom and go fricking nuts. Parents, we love you. We really do. We appreciate your work and everything you've ever done for us. But sometimes we need some alone time. No, we're not mad at you. We're not gay, except those of us who are. We're not affected by computer, TV, friends, boyfriend, girlfriend. We just want to be alone this evening. For my parents anyway, learning how to use technology and the internet. The times we live in now are very different than the days my parents used to live in, and they seem really hesitant to learn how to use the internet and technology. I believe it could potentially make their lives easier, and it could be helpful in many ways. Actually 22, but close enough I guess. The biggest thing for me was my parents trying to raise me in the same manner their parents raised them. While their parents did a fine job, life for a teenager is so much different than it was 20-30 years ago. So please don't judge me for doing different things than what you were doing at the same age. Just because I spend a lot of time on the computer doesn't mean I can fix every problem on it. Stop constantly telling me how smart I am. Jesus Christ, I'm realistically a little above average, but still there were a lot of people I graduated with that were way smarter than I am, so give it a rest and it's not that big a deal. School gets more difficult when students reach a higher level. Yes, I was able to accomplish much in middle school. As for college, it's two different levels of education. You can't expect me to be respectful if you can't be respectful back. Only 13-19 teens allowed. I don't want to see any 26-yo teens around here. You can't stop me. This isn't just a phase, Mom. This is WHOIAM. I'm a professional adult and you have to deal with IT. This pirate hamster is here to steal all of your cheese. Subscribe in 2.15 seconds or he'll do it. If you are new to the channel, you can subscribe. I publish new videos every day. Until then, check out another video. Or don't. Either way, have a great day you magnificent people.